Hello, this is Dr. Jeff Craig, Superintendent for the West Aurora Schools, and today we will bring you our board recaps. And today we'll be talking about our November board meetings. On November 7th at our board meeting, we had potential action items coming out of an executive session. The board approved the multi-year employment agreement between the district and Dr. Michael P. Smith as the rising superintendent for the district. Dr. Smith will begin his tenure as superintendent of schools on July 1st of 2024. In our information segment, Mrs. Olivia Smith, our principal of Schneider, and Dr. Catherine Schaefermeyer, principal of Fern, and Mrs. Amy Bauer, assistant principal of Schneider, presented on the kindergarten experience. This was the first installment of building presentations from the Teaching and Learning Division. The group highlighted the action learning cycle, and the board was able to participate in the presentation through interactive manipulatives. Hollis Hanson Pollock from Crow LLP presented the annual financial report for fiscal year 2022. The audit opinion stated that the financial statements present fairly, and Mrs. Hanson Pollock went over some high-level information from the financial statements. Financial statements for both Hopewell and the district were included. Ryan Abrahamson, Director of Finance, presented information on the 2022 tax levy and the 2022 tax levy year abatement of taxes. Mr. Abrahamson brings this to the board as a recurring item each year and thoroughly explains the timelines and important items and terms related to these. In December, there will be a public hearing and 3 resolutions to approve the tax levy year abatement of taxes. Dr. Brent Raby, Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, presents the Building Title I plans. This is an annual review of our Title I buildings. Ana Gonzalez, Director of Community Affairs, presented the Community Affairs update, which has highlighted a reception introducing Dr. Michael P. Smith to the community, as well as upcoming Veterans Day and holiday celebrations. In action, the board approved the 2022 tentative tax levy, and the final adoption will be up for approval at the December 12 meeting. And finally, in public comment, during the public comment portion of the meeting, Rhonda Mont, president of the Blackhawks Sports Boosters, presented the district with a check for $10,000, which will go towards the West High Stadium renovations. We are very grateful. At the November 21 board meeting, we started with our recognitions portion. November 15 was designated as School Board Member Appreciation Day. We recognized our board and student board members for all of the great work that they do for our community and our students. In the information section, Dr. Valerie McCall, our Director of Educational Equity, presented an update on what her department is working on as it relates to equity. Dr. McCall highlighted some recent events, including the Lunch and Learn with the Pierce Twins and the Equity Cafe Parent Leadership Series. Erica Kegereist, our Assistant Principal of Activities, touched on the equity journey at West High, and Crystal Delfini, teacher at Jefferson, did the same. Dr. McCall and her equity groups continued to work towards the Equity District Statement. Mr. Zach Fitzenreiter, Assistant Director of Secondary Teaching and Learning, discussed the upcoming high school course proposals for the 2023-2024 school year. There were a few additions and deletions, and the final course catalog will come out shortly after this is approved next month. Staff from the CTE department at West High submitted a trip approval to plan a fashion and interior design trip to London and Paris in 2024. Discussion items: Mr. Pat Dacey, our Capital Projects Manager, presented 2 letters of recommendation for projects occurring at Jewell Middle School. The first is the work for HVAC improvements, and the second is for HVAC improvements test and balance. Mr. Dacey went through the bid tabulations and recommendations that came after the bid opening. We will look to approve these at the December meeting. In our action items, the board approved the 2021-2022 annual financial reports as they had been presented at our prior meeting. And that's it for our school board recap for November. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you next time.